Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, over the last few months, following on from my designer shoe collection video, quite a few of you have requested that I do an updated video for my winter collection. Now, as I am a bit of a shoe addict, I have quite a lot of shoes. So what I've decided to do is split them into categories, and today I'm going to share with you my designer boots collection for autumn winter. But before we get started, my neighbour has decided it is an excellent time to do some home, right on cue, some home DIY. So I'm going to apologise now. I've literally been trying to film this for an hour and it's just been drill, which is funny. But I will apologise now because there may be some drilling interludes throughout this video, so apologies. But we'll do our best to just breeze past this as normally as possible. Right, so my first pair of boots are the Acme Jensen boots. These were on my wish list for a good couple of years, I'd say. I finally took the plunge and bought them earlier on this year, probably only a couple of months ago. And I decided to go for the black suede version, which I know what you're thinking, it might not be the most practical of fabrics, but I am just constantly drawn to black suede, as you will see with the rest of my collection. Somewhat of an addiction here, people. They are £370, so in terms of a designer price tag, that's actually not that bad. However, there's quite a few dupes for these. Now, in terms of sizing, Acme very annoyingly do not make a half size. Oh, it annoys me so much. So I made the executive decision to buy these in a size 40 because they have this slim pointed toe, and because my toes are very narrow, my toes tend to fit perfectly into a pointed silhouette. They are a little bit snug in terms of width, but that's because they're very narrowly cut. So if you have a wider foot, I personally have very narrow feet, but if you have a wider foot, these may not be the boots for you, just to pre-warn you. But otherwise, you know, I've worn these a good handful of times. They're doing okay. I think they're the kind of boot that actually starts to look even better when they get a little bit scuffed up and when they get a little bit worn. At the moment, they're still looking quite pristine. They've got this small block heel at the back, which technically for me, I would class that as a flat, because that's not really much of a heel at all. They've got the pointed toe, and what makes these stand out from other boots is this tiny little metal detail here on the point that basically distinguishes them as the Acme Jensen boot, along with this branding which runs up the back tab here. Now, these are just a really good all-rounder. I wear these quite frequently just with a pair of jeans, currently now big old coat and a big scarf. Good boot for kind of everyday wear if you've got to be running errands, or I guess they're kind of even a smart boot if you were to get them in the leather. They're quite chic, they're very classic. There's not really any design element about them that is kind of trend driven. They're just a very, very classic style. Definitely worth the £370. So if you've got narrow feet, I would 100% recommend looking into buying a pair of these. Right, moving on to my second pair, and these I've only had for 3 days. And these are by Jil Sander. Now, these are a little bit different to what I would normally choose. I'm not entirely sure of the style name of these, but they are super, super soft suede. Not like the Acme Jensen boots. The Acme Jensen boots feel a little bit more rough. These feel so soft, almost like microfiber. And the design element on these obviously is this jazzy little bronze heel. Again, these are a great everyday heel height because that heel is only a couple of inches high. And what I love about these boots the most is A, the toe shape. It's almost, it's pointy, but with without the point on the end, so it's very slim and it tapers up to the top, but then it rounds off so it's not severe like a winkle picker like the Acme Jensen boots. Now, the top here is elasticated and it fits very, very snugly to your ankle, so I would describe these as a sock boot, although they don't run super high up your leg. Now, these were £665. I was actually gifted these by Net-a-Porter, which is very, very generous of them, so thank you, Net-a-Porter. Size-wise, I have these in a 40.5, which is my actual size, so I would say that they run true to size. I've worn them once so far, and they were really comfortable. The one thing to note about these is they are are very long and slender. So if, like me, you do have a larger foot, then you just need to be aware of the fact that they are going to emphasize that length factor of your feet. And they're just a very, very chic boot, which look bloody wonderful with pretty much anything. Right, now I'm going to mix it up a bit with these just so that you guys don't get bored of seeing black suede ankle boots. And I'm going to move on to my Stuart Weitzman Lowlands. So I have these in the, I think it's called chestnut maybe, but it's kind of the tan brown suede. In terms of styling, they look great over a pair of skinny jeans. So maybe something like what I'm wearing now would completely disguise the knee rips. Now one thing I do find, and this goes for the other pairs of Stuart Weitzman boots that I have as well, and it's actually the reason why I love these boots, is because the leg is very, very slim fitting. Now, if like me, you have large feet and skinny little twiggy legs, you'll find it really difficult to find a pair of over-the-knee boots on the high street that fit properly. In terms of experience, these are the only boots, and this is the only brand that I have found thus far that actually fit my legs properly and also have for big feet. Now, I don't know if it's because the Lowland version are more of a walking boot. I think because you're going to walk more in them because they're flat, but they have more of a grip on the bottom than the Highlands do. And you can see here that this says Stuart, and on the other foot it says Weitzman. So they love a bit of branding on there. They come up really, really high on the leg. So if you're petite, it might be worth trying these before you order them online, because I am 5'9" and they come up halfway up my thigh, which I love, but obviously if you're petite, they might end up looking like stockings, which is so not a good look. They have a tie at the top here, which you can ruche once they're on, and that makes them stay up a little bit more. Of course, as you walk, they wrinkle slightly, but by far the Stuart Weitzmans are the best that I have tried and tested in terms of the boot falling down. So I find that they very, very rarely start to slip down my leg if I've done the tie up properly. There's just a little bit of wrinkling, but you are moving your leg and your knee is encompassed within the boot. So I think that's kind of to be expected. In terms of the actual foot itself, I actually find these a little bit more on the wide side. So I wear a really thick pair of socks underneath these, which keeps my feet nice and toasty. And in terms of length, I actually have all of my Stuart Weitzman boots in a size 41, which is a UK 8. And as a 7.5, that's technically half a size bigger than what I would normally go. So something to bear in mind with these boots, that they do run ever so slightly a little bit small. Right, now on to my Sandler Chelsea boots. These ones were called the Wyatt boots. Now I actually bought these in Paris, and at the time they were about £550. Which isn't bad, I don't think, for Saint Laurent. As you can tell, mine are like this croc effect black leather. Very, very classic. They're just such a good all-rounder boot. Now, I never had these resold when I first bought them, because these were actually my first designer shoe purchase ever. So I didn't really know about the whole resoling thing, and I still haven't had them resold, and you can see how much I've worn them. I literally cannot tell you how many times I've worn these. I've lost count, and the sole is actually standing up really, really well. Now, Saint Laurent typically do run large, so these are a size 40, which is half a size smaller than I would normally go, and I can wear not a chunky pair of socks, but I can wear a slightly thicker pair of socks, or two really thin pairs of socks underneath in these as well. So just bear that in mind if you're ever looking at Saint Laurent as a brand for shoes. Now this is the one and only pair, well, not even pair, this is the one and only item I've ever bought from Tod's. I actually bought these in the Matches sale earlier on this year. Sorry, there's dog hair, there'll always be dog hair. And I think I bought these for about £255, which I thought at the time was an absolute bargain. Still believe it's a bargain, because they're such a nice classic pair of boots. Again, they're suede, because I love suede and I just can't help myself, but they've got this really nice gold buckle detail on here, and you know I love my gold jewellery, my gold hardware. Slightly different toe shape to what I would normally go to. I normally favour a pointed toe, but These ones are slightly more of a squared toe. They're super comfortable. They've got a nice padded insole. The rubber sole I actually quite like as opposed to the leather sole, because with most leather soles you have to get them resoled, and when you first wear them, if you haven't had them resoled and you wear them perhaps somewhere on wet or a shiny surface, you will literally go flying because they're so slippy. But yeah, really good versatile boot. Definitely a thumbs up for Tod's, just having tried this one pair, so it's 100% a brand that I would probably look to in the future when looking at new boots. Okay, I'm gonna come back, I just literally flicked that in my own eye. I'm gonna come back to Stuart Weitzman again. And this time I have the Highlands. Now these are the light grey colour, but I also have them in black. Now I've had both of these for probably a year, and then a year and 6 months for the black ones. They are just beautiful boots, and as I explained earlier about the lowlands, these are the only boots that I can find that will fit my skinny little legs and the size of my feet. I actually find they're quite narrow, which for me is really good because I have a narrow foot. However, if you have wider feet, then it might be worth trying these on before taking the plunge. I have never once had a blister from either pair of the Highlands that I have. Literally, they are the most comfortable boots. I have worn these quite a few times, so they do have quite a lot of longevity in the soles and in the heels. I think there can often be a bit of a pretty woman stigma about an over-the-knee boot, but Stuart Weitzman have done an incredible job of getting away from that stigma, because these boots have become an absolute classic. And while we're on the topic of Stuart Weitzman, I also have a pair of the Midlands, which are basically a Highland Lowland hybrid. So they have a chunky heel, but it's only a mid heel. Right, onto my little triumphant find from Bicester Village. These were my Prada suede ankle boots. Yes, I know, why does she need another pair of suede ankle boots? Because I love them, and they are all ever so slightly different, okay? It's like girls that love red nail polish or red lipstick. They're all the same, but they're different. Same, but different. So I got these for £325, which is not bad, really. For Prada, I think that would probably be 40% off, which is pretty good. And what I like about these is that the suede goes all the way down the heel. Now it's a nice little size 2.5-inch block heel. So they're very manageable, very easy to wear. They also have a really good grippy rubber sole. I actually sized down by half a size and got them in a size 40. Now they have the zip at the side here, so it's easy to put on. These ones fit just right. Like, I can tuck jeans into the top of them and they look just right, or if I were to wear them with bare legs, there's no gaping at either end of my ankle. And I'd say these are like my go-to all-rounder super classic boot. If I'm ever kind of in doubt of what to wear with an outfit, I'll more often than not tend to reach for these. Okay, Chloe Susanna's. Now, I did feature these in my last designer shoe collection video. They are just a really good all-rounder, which makes me very happy because they were £850. And as much as it pains me deeply inside that I spent that much money on a pair of boots, I also love them with all my heart because they are so beautiful. Yes, you jingle when you walk. Never mind that, it's fine. This is the noise of awesomeness. Yeah. They are incredibly comfortable. Never once have they given me a blister, never once have they rubbed, never once have my feet ached while wearing them. I actually wore these for 2 whole days while we walked around Boston, and I actually had a couple of girls come up to me and say, oh my god, are those the Chloe Susanna's? Were they worth the money? I was like, yes! If you're deliberating over them, I honestly couldn't recommend them enough. And I'm not saying that because I want you to buy them through my link, I'm just saying because as a fellow shoe lover and someone that lusted over these for 6 years, and now I have them, I can genuinely say I love them very much. Okay. Oh no, wait, I've got one more pair and I've got them on. Wait, these are my Anina Bing, I hope I've said that correctly, Natalie boots. They're just So simple, so elegant, very classic. The only thing that bugs me is that they've got a silver zip. I obviously like my gold hardware, but the zip is on the inside, so it doesn't really faze me that much. Really nice, not super high, but also not super low, block, chunky heel. The shape of this toe is just everything. Like, I love it so much. They are so comfortable. Now, these were gifted to me from Anina Bing, and I actually received them 4 days ago, I think it was, or they were waiting for me when we got back from Disneyland, and I ripped the box open and was like, literally put them on straight away with my pyjamas, which was a fetching look, might I add, and I fell in love with them instantly, and kind of wished that I'd bought them 8 months ago, or however long it was. And I posted these in the first outfit that I ever wore them with on my Instagram, not yesterday, the day before, and loads of you commented about the boots and was like, where are the boots from, where are the boots from? Even though I tagged them as Anina Bing. But yes, you all went crazy for the boots, and rightly so. They are absolutely beautiful. Now, these are £380, which I know is quite pricey, but I think for such a classic style, they're going to be that kind of boot that is in your wardrobe for years and years. Now, in terms of sizing, again, they don't do half sizes, which is annoying because I'm a half size. So again, I went in blind and I actually requested a size 40, which I thought was a bit of a risk. But I tried them on, and thankfully, because of the pointed toe, the size 40 fits perfectly. Love these boots so much, and so happy that I have them in my collection. Right guys, thank you so much from me and all of my boots for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any other questions about any of the boots that I featured, please leave me a comment in the comments section below. And of course, all of the boots featured in today's video will be linked below, along with some slightly cheaper alternatives. Don't say I don't do nothing for you. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.